Hello fashion people. So in today's video we're going to be doing the cutting and sewing proper of this beautiful dress. It's a show back with a slit in front and it has side roses. So stay tuned. Let's dive into the video. So remember that we did the pattern drafting in the previous video. Please do it to check it out because here we're going to be doing the cutting and as well as the sewing. For the pattern drafting, it was in the video before. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into two, and this is the front part. So I added my sewing allowances of 1/2 of an inch by the like below and in between the darts, and for the side front I added 1.5 inches to it, and all over it is now 1/2 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So this is for the upper back torso. So here I added my inches as well, and this there is the side back, center back, and up is 1/2 of an inch. Then by this side I added 1.5 inches, and center back as well I added 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So just add your sewing allowances and cut out. So this is for the cutting out of the lining piece. I couldn't find the exact matching color of fabric. I was only able to lay my hand on this sky blue. So I placed my center front and I'm going to be cutting exactly what I have, just as we did for the main fabric. So this is our front piece. That's the lower part. That's the complete down part of the gown. So this is our center front, and center front I added 1 inch to this. You know there's a slit at the center front, so that's this 1 inch, and here is 1/2 inch. I did 1/2 inch to this, and by the side so I added 1 inch to the side front as well. Remember we cut this using the knee length. So while cutting it on paper I wrote complete the length, so I'm going to be completing the length, which I did, as you can see. So the what you're going to do here is that you're just going to place your material. This is on fold, this is two piece, this is for the two side, this is the wrong part of the material. So just measure what you have here at the knee length. To see me doing, just measure what you have here. Is I have 9 inch here. I'm going to extend that same measurement all the way to the hair. You see, just extend, so I have that same 9 inch here. So that is what I did. You get, so just use this exact measurement all the way to the full length, and then I added 1 inch at the side. For this is the center front, this is where they're going to be slit, as I said earlier, and this is for the seam allowance by the side. So this is all for the lower part of the front, and then this is for the lower part of the back as well. So I added 1/2 inch at the waist and 1 inch at the two sides, the side back and the center back. This is where my zipper is going to be placed, and just as we did for the front, just take the same measurement you have here. Here I'm having 8.75 for my back, and I'm going to be extending this same measurement all the way to the hem. So that is just what I did here. So it's going to be doing the same thing. So I use the same measurement all the way to the full length, and I added 1 inch extra for hemming the lower part, which I also did the same for the front piece. So and at the end you're going to add your sewing allowance 1 inch and 1 inch on the two sides. So that is it. This is our front piece for the upper part. This is our under bust, our bust point or shoe bust point, and this our bust line, armhole line. So I went ahead to cut out a lining piece for it. I couldn't get the exact same color of fabric, but it's still a sky blue, something similar. So that's why I was able to lay my hands on, and I cut exactly what I have. So the next thing now is for me to do my notching. So I'm going to be notching the under bust. This is the under bust. I'm going to create a notch around that area. I'm going to take out my pin first, and then I'll create a notch here. I said to pin it back. This is going to be a guide when I start joining them together, the two sides together. I'm also going to create that notch here as well. So this is a notch. And also I'm going to find a way and create a notch at this two bust point, because when I'm going to be sewing my 1/2 inch, I'm going to sew it like this. I'm going to sew it like this and stop here. You get, it's going to, the sewing is going to end here. So I'm going to find something to poke it so that it can come out at the other side too. So now here I have 4 pieces, like the two side of the front and the two side of the main fabric and the two side of the lining piece. You get, so I'm going to get something I'm going to be using to poke it. So here I got my hand needle, so I'm just going to poke it like this and make sure that it's obvious. Like, I'm going to pass it out here, make sure that the hole is big enough for me. So I'm going to pass it out like this. You can see, I can see my hole. I'm going to pass it back just to make sure that the hole is very visible. That's going to be a very good help while sewing my pieces together. Okay, so I decide to do the same thing, just trying to make the hole more obvious. Okay, and that is it. So this is what I have here, you can see, and this is fine. This is it, and it came out all the way to this side. So that is it. So that's for my notch, and so here is for the back. This is for the back. This is for the center back. I use 1.5 inch here, 1/2 inch at the up, 1/2 inch at the down, and 1.5 inch at the side. I think I'm going to reduce this 1.5 inch to 1 inch later. Maybe I'll just use it. Okay, no, I'm going to use 1/2 inch turn to turn my fabric piece, like the main fabric, and end up having 1 inch left, and then it's going to be running the lower parts of the gown. Get, so this is it for our cutting, and now I'm going to start off with our sewing proper. If you have watched up to this point, make sure you give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, drop your question in the comment section if you have any, and give me a nice comment in the comment section. Let's bond. Yeah, all right, thank you. I'm going to start off my sewing with the front piece, so I'm going to carefully take out my pins. I'm washing as well. I'm washing this one as well, just to give me the spot. I work with my things a lot. People watch my video on how to actually perfect it, change this and get it to and then you can walk into your things and Make example of fashion designers who I don't place my things. I clean very well. I like having the perfect fit. I want to always deliver probably what my clients want. So this is it. You see the notch, the pin that we placed there. So this is it. And I'm going to be opening it up to make sure that it came out to the other end as well. And then this is it. So I'm just going to pick out the lining piece so we can work on the main fabric first. So first things first, place the right side facing each other. I've not cut open this side, the extension at the neck. I'm going to begin that later. So just focus on this, on sewing the bust point first. You see the notch we gave at the under bust. So this is it. I'm going to take my pin again. I'm going to pin it together. I like working with my pins. You know. So this is the notch that we gave. You can see my pin. I don't know if you can see, but I can see this is the notch I gave. You see, I'm just going to hold it up, but that's where my stitch is going to end. So I'm just going to use my needle, just pin somewhere slightly above it, so that when I'm sewing, the needle remind me that this I'm meant to stop here. Okay, hope you're following me. So just, and then I will match up this end as well and pin it down. Remember, we are sewing it down by half of an inch, but like you're going to sew half of an inch and go up like this. So when we get here, we're going to stop here, like our stitch is going to slant inwards and stop at that notch. Going to slant inward and stop at the notch. So that's what we're going to do there. And then I'll continue. Then I'll continue. Let me just pin this side as well. So now I've pinned one side. Let me go over to this end, this other side, and I'm going to be pinning this side as well. The bust point, matching up the bust point, like the under bust first, and then I'll align the others as well. Please, if you have any question, do want to drop your question in the comment section. I always check my comment section. I always reply to my comments, my questions. Okay? I can just drop something nice for me. Encourage me, okay? Encourage me. Hope you're following the get. Encourage me. Just something nice for me. So this is where the point is. This is where it is. So I'm going to pin pin it just as we did for the other side. Use my pin to help my mind to be there. I'm going to match up this end as well. We want our clothes to come out as beautiful as you saw in the thumbnail. So why not? Looking good is good business, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and sew it up. So I'm going to be sewing down by half of an inch. You can make your markings first before sewing, but I'll be using my tape as a guide. Like I'll just be placing half inch and then I'll be running my stitches. First of all, give it a notch, and as we sew, we'll be taking out our pins. So take out your pins. That's what we're going to be doing.
So this is it for the two back. This is for the lining piece. It's quite beautiful face left here. The one I give it a good precision to be as flat as possible. This is the main piece. So next thing I'm going to start, and I'm going to create a notch. I'm going to notch this very well. This is under bust. Hope you can see. So I'm going to be notching this properly. Don't cut through your thread, just as close as possible. I'm going to be notching this all the way upwards. You can try to trim it off. I think I prefer trimming it off. So I'm going to trim it as close as possible. Or if you want to do the notch, you can just do the notch and press it open. But I think trimming it is better for me. This on the underbust upwards, and then from here I'm going to open it up and press it down like this. So I'm going to do the same thing for this other side as well. So I'm going to trim, get a notch here at the underbust, very close to my thread, and then I'm going to cut this out. So this is it. So me just sew this properly. Maybe just double up the thread. Maybe the sewing. I'm going to do the same thing for this side as well. This is it. So over to my lining piece. I'm going to do the same thing for the lining piece. Give it a notch and trim out. Give it a notch at the underbust as well and then trim out. I think I can be very close to the thread, but I didn't put it through. So that is what you should be doing for yourself. So I'm going to go back to my onion tip. I'm going to iron it and press it very well. But also I think I should turn out the ammo area and the neck area as well. So I'm doing the whole iron as well. So now I would like to turn my main piece with the lining. But first of all, I'm going to cut through this back join in here. I'm going to cut it through. You can see the crease line. So I'm cutting it through, and I'm going to get the lining piece, and I'm going to cut it through as well as the crease line. That's why it's good to press your fabrics before you cut. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and then I'm going to be placing right sides facing each other like so. The right side facing each other, and I'm going to get my pin. First of all, I'm going to align the center of the two neck piece. I'm going to align it like so. So I'm going to align the center points, the center piece of the neck area, and I'm going to pin it down. And I'm going to be pinning it down all the way upwards. I'm going to put in the same thing for this side as well. Just pin, 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 fashion designers, pin, pin, pin. And be wondering I didn't do any padding at the bust area. So I'm going to be using a bra cup. Going to start inserting a bra cup to it later. You get? But since we did our under bust tightening very well, even without the bra cup, it will still stand like your bust. It will still give you that bust lift. And the fabric is a crepe material. It's thick and it's also lined up, so your nipple will not show in case if you are bothered. But you can decide to give it a lift by using a bust pad for it. So you can do that if you wish. If you wish, I mean to say. So now I'm going to sew up by half of an inch. I'm going to start from this end and I'm going to sew it all the way to the other side. Then sewing it down by half of an inch. So the same technique, sew, take out your pin, sew, take out your pins. So this is for the neck area. I'm just sewing it down by half an inch. So the next thing now is that I'm going to give feet a notch all round, and then I'm going to be sewing it down. So you're going to give the notch close to your thread, but don't cut through. You give the notch close to your thread, but do not cut through. Especially this area, make sure you notice very well so that it flat on your body when you're done sewing. Close to your thread, but do not cut through. Then I'm going to do the same thing for this other end as well. This area, make sure you notice like close to each other so that it's only flat on the other. So I'm not matching this one. Then I'm going to be opening it up and I'm going to be top stitching that neck area. I'm going to pull the whole piece here. I'm going to pull it over to the lining part. But first of all, let me trim it down a little so that it won't be too bulky. So now I'm done trimming it down. I'm going to go ahead to open it up again. And then just the minutes more that should make that out. I'm going to push it to the lining. This is the lining piece. I'm going to push it like this. I'm going to open it up this way. So I'm going to be sewing my stitch close to this the stitch we ran, but it's going to be on the lining piece to get. I'm going to be opening it up very well and I'm then going to line down the stitch. That's stop stitching. If you are a subscriber on this channel, you must have gotten used to stop stitch. You must have known what stop stitch is. Because I do this in almost on all my clothes. So I'm going to continue sewing down. And then this is it. So I'm going to press this down. It will be like this after pressing it down. You can see our gown is turning up gradually. It's turning up gradually. So now if you look at the thumbnail at the video, you can find that at the neck area there's a button here. So I'm going to put a loop. You can use one button or two buttons depending on you. So you can just decide how many what you want it to have. I think one is fine because distance is not that much. So I think just one loop is going to be fine. So I'm going to create a loop now. So I'm going to attach here and then we'll continue. This is what I'm going to be using for my loop. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. So I'm going to just fold it like this, fold it in this end, and then I'll fold it again. Hope you understood what I did. So folded one end. This is folded this end first, folded this end as well. They all met at the middle, just as we do bias, and then just double fold again. Just fold it like this. I'm going to sew it down first. So this is it. So you're going to decide which side you want the loop to be. This is the right side. You want to be when you put it over your neck, you want to be at the right or the wrong side. I want the loop to be at the right side. And this is the right side of the fabric. I want to be at the right hand side. As this place. So I'm going to go ahead and you're going to still turn over this armhole area by half of an inch. So I'm just going to place my loop here. I'm just going to place it here. So this is it. So I'm now going to bring out the lining piece and flip it over to the right side facing each other so that we can continue with our hemming. So I'm going to pin this all over all the way to the armhole, so to the neck area. I'm going to pin it down and then we can sew it up by half of an inch as well. So or the armhole area all the way to this neck extension, I'm going to continue sewing it down by half of an inch as well. Hope you can remember that we gave a notch here. As that is where my paper stopped. We gave a notch here, like the paper stopped. We gave a notch here, and also we gave a notch here. So I'm going to use this notch as a guide, and then I'm going to sew across to this side. I'm going to be doing the same thing for that side as well. But this is not you give. I'm just going to take it in this way, and then I'm going to sew. I need to sew across it like this. And also to this side, see the notch here, and to this side too. So I'm going to sew across like so. And this is it. So now I'm going to be notching all over this armhole region, and I will do the same thing for that side. You either notch or you cut or you trim off. Should I be doing trimming? I think let me go with trimming off. Just close to it, but not through. So now I've cut all the excess at the sides. I trimmed out the excess just close to the stitch, but not through, as I said. So here I'm also going to be cutting all the excess, and I'm doing the same thing for this side as well. So this is it. So now I'm going to be turning it over to the right side to see what we have. So this is what I have after I went. I'm done pressing it down. So I gave it a good press, and this is it. And the breast area, and see the center front. This is the lining piston. I ironed it down very well. While ironing down this point edge, make sure you're using your breast, like that breast form. Just put it inside it and make sure you iron it to the curve it came with that you have there, so that it will have that breast lift. So this is it. I'm then ironing it down, and so we're going to go over to sewing the back upper parts, the back upper bodies. So this is the lining, and this is the main fabric. This is our side. So we're going to go over to starting up our back. In order to avoid confusion, I'm going to label it. So the upper and the lower parts are looking the same. So when I take out my paper, I'm going to get confused. Knowing which side is the front, like the up, the down, the center back, or the center front. So here the center front. I'm just going to just have this white. It's not showing. So I can either use a pen. Make sure I'm writing on the wrong side. So this is the center. I'm going to write CB. I'm just going to write it at the wrong side of the fabric. It's not even showing. So I'm going to get a marker pen. So I'm going to label here CB, and also this side CB, and the center back, as well as the two lining piece. And then I'm going to be labeling up, up. This is the upper part. This is the neck area. I'm going to label up. Yes, up too. I'm going to label the lining pieces as well. I'm writing this on the wrong side of the fabric. Don't remember that. So I'm writing it on the wrong side of the fabric and it's a mark, it's a pen. So when I sew it won't show. This is up. Then automatically this is down and this is the side back. Then I'm going to go ahead to take out my pins because now I have everything in place. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my pins. So I'm going to start off by lining the neck area. So I'm going to pick one, two, one main piece and one lining piece. I'm going to be placing them right sides facing each other. This is up. Now this is my center back. This is my center back. So it's not this. This is the piece that will go. This is up. This is up. Side center back. And this is center back. So I'm going to go ahead and mash it up and sew it down by half of an inch like this. And I'll do the same thing for this too. This is up. Right sides facing each other. This is up. This is up. This is center back. This is center back. I'm going to be sewing it down by half of an inch as well. So here I'm done sewing, turning down the neck area to the upper part. I turned it down and also did my top stitch. I should do the same thing for this. I turned it up and did my top stitch. So now I'm going to be flipping it over to the right side. As facing each other. This is our center back. This is our side back. So I'm going to be turning the side back by half of an inch. I'm going to sew it down half of an inch on the two piece, and then I'm going to go back to this right piece, and I'm going to be turning it over like this, and I'm going to be sewing this side by half of an inch as well on the two sides. So I'm going to be turning the side front by half of an inch and the two side back piece by half of an inch, and I'll give it a good press. This is our center front. This is center front. So I'm going to be sewing it down. I'm going to take out this paper and I'll be sewing it down by 1 inch. No, we left 1 inch at the center front. This is because they say slit. There's going to be a slit down here. So I'm going to sew all the way to where I want my slit to start. So I'm going to stop here. I think here will be fine. And then here's going to be an open slit. And I will, after sewing them, I'm going to give it a good press. And I'll be showing you what I have. This is the front. I've gone ahead to sew the sides by half of an inch, and I also ironed it down. This is for the other side. You can see how beautiful it's looking. So this is the wrong side and this is the right side. So this is it for the front, and for the back I also did it for the sides as well. I sewed the sides by half of an inch and I pressed it down for the two sides. This is it for the other side. So that's our side back, and then this is our center back. So that is it for the upper bodies. And for the skirt piece, as I showed you, I went ahead to join the center front by half of an inch, by 1 inch, which is what we left. So this is it, and I also pressed it and opened up my seam, gave it a good press and pressed it down all the way to the hem. So I just pressed it down all the way to the hem, making sure that the 1 inch is folded in just like so. So this is it. I'm still going to be weaving the whole sides. For the lower part of this gown, I'm not going to be lining it with a lining, so it's just going to be the main piece. This is a crepe fabric, so it's fine for me like this. I'm going to be using it this way, but you can also line yours if you want. So now I'm going to be joining the upper bodies to the lower bodies. Starting with the front, I'm going to be joining this by half of an inch. I'm going to be joining it by the waist by half of an inch, and I'll also attach the lower piece to the upper piece of the back by half of an inch, and I'll be showing you that. So this is my two back piece. So now I'm going to be attaching my zipper to it, and I'll be sewing together remaining parts. Remember, I left 1 inch for that. So I'm going to be attaching this zipper, an invisible zipper. I have a video on this channel how to attach an invisible zipper. Please do like to check it out. I'll be linking it in the description box as well as in the comment section. So I'll get and attach my invisible zipper, and then I'll continue with the many parts of joining the gown. As you can see, I'm done sewing in my zip. This is my invisible zip. See how neat it is. I'll place the link on how to put this invisible zip in the description box as well as the comment section. So do want to check it out. So you're done facing our zip. Now we are going to be joining the sides. So we're going to be introducing back our front bodies. So this is the front bodies. I'm going to be placing them right sides facing each other, and I'm going to be sewing it down by 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'll show you what I have. I'm just going to align it very well, and I'll be sewing it down. After which we're going to proceed to weaving out the rough edges, and our gown will be almost ready. So let me sew the sides and do the weaving, and I'll be right back. So I'm done sewing the sides. As you can see, I've joined it by the side, and I've also weaved the inside. So this is it. So I'm going to cut this out. I've also weaved the inside. It's not looking very neat. So the next thing now is I'm going to, this is the front, and this is the front. This is the slit area. I've ironed it down already. I showed you before. So next thing is I'm going to open it up this way. This is the slit. This place I've ironed it down. So I'm going to put in a hemming gum here. I'm going to put in my hemming gun. I'm going to pressing it down to hold it tight. After which I'm going to go over to folding the lower piece. No, less 1 inch for the lower piece. You can use that to use a hemming gun and hold it. Then if you don't want the stitch to be showing at the right side, or you can just do your hemming. So I'm going to be hemming it this way, and I'm going to sew it down. So this is it. Our top is ready. So the next thing is I'm going to be putting a button here. So I did a cover button for this. I'm going to get it. I'm going to be attaching, sewing the, tacking down the cover button here, and that is all. So our gown is ready. If you're watching up to this point, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next class in a GV. So this is how mine turned out. You can try to add a breast cup to yours if you want, but this is fine for me. This is going to hold my bust because I did the under bust contouring, so it's still fine. But if you want it to, if you want to add a breast cup to that, you can go ahead and add your breast cup, and that is it. So this is the cover button. This is my cover button. I'm just going to hold it down. To do this, you can just cut a little piece of your fabric. You can go to some people that do cover button do it for you. You don't have the machine for doing cover button, and this is it. So I'll see you in my next class. I'm going to be testing this out for you to see how it is, so that I put this on a body or on a mannequin to see how this turned out.